going on, and welcome to my YouTube. This is video 2 of basically my YouTube diary slash life lessons, makeup, just whatever, y'all. So this topic we're going to talk about is kind of personal, close to the heart, but I woke up this morning and I had a dream, and basically the dream honestly didn't make any sense, but the dream basically stated like, stop trying to hide who you are, where you come from, and basically your experiences that you lived or haven't lived. And after that, I wrote down in my little journal my dream. And then immediately I went to play solitaire, which I literally play solitaire every single day. It's kind of an addiction. Some people call it old people game, but yeah, I play solitaire. And then I went on TikTok. Well, then I actually checked my emails to see, and I got an email from my rep saying that the transaction didn't go through, which I knew was going to happen because I don't have the funds in my account to pay rent. So, it is what it is. But I went on TikTok and looked at some YouTube videos, and a video came across my For You page, and then it got me thinking about my walk that I did from a job interview. I'm not going to say the job, just a job interview, because I don't want to jinx it. But yeah, so we're going to do my makeup, and we're going to talk about the revelation I had. And I'm basically going to read what I wrote down in my journal, because I feel like the word is in, well, the revelation of the word is actually in what I wrote for someone who's watching. So yeah. Okay, so I literally recorded this like 3 times already, and mind you, I know I wrote what I wrote in this journal, and I know it's supposed to help people and get the word out. But it's so hard because, I really am afraid, of people seeing me in this state and people hearing me in this state. But I know this is the right thing to do. And this video is probably going to be long, but whoever watches this, whoever sees this, whoever shares it, whoever likes it, whoever puts their friends to it, just know that this video is for you. This video is mainly for me, but this video is for you in some way or form, because I got this revelation from it. And I know there's someone, something, some being, some entity that's going to need this information, whether it's now, tomorrow, or millions of years later. And this is basically my personal feelings. I clearly didn't go in detail about a lot of things, but just know that what I'm saying is like true. Like, I'm going through this situation right now. And to those who are watching, just keep having faith. But like I said, I'm going to read from my journal, and honestly, if I mess up talking, I don't like talking about myself. So bear with me. It's 9:05 a.m., February 1st, 2023. I feel well rested. I feel hungry. My body aches from the walking. I feel a little lost, lonely. I know I have to put myself out there, but I just don't know how to. But I just don't know how to. Currently, I don't know what to feel about the rent issue that I have. I feel sad. I feel exhausted. I feel bitter. I feel afraid that I'm going to be put out. All this time, I was running and hiding from being labeled as a good girl, labeled as weird, awkward, trying to pretend that I was something that I'm not. There's a lot of things that I wish I could change, but I know that I'm stronger than it. Walking made me realize there's beauty in everything. The dullness of the houses people made homes, the big houses next to dirt and busy roads, small houses by mid chaos of the roads. Life/peace is what we make it. Even though the pain I was feeling from walking, I told myself that I could do it. I kept telling myself that we're almost there. I knew in my heart and in my soul that I could do it. I know the God, universe, would guide me. I had faith and I trusted myself. At every stop sign I waited before I crossed, That was God/the universe's way of saying there's a little break. In every traffic light, there were longer breaks to calm my breath and look at the scenery, which I did. The cars passing by, me walking, those were the people that I thought had it all. But in the end, how would I know that? People on the bike putting in work, but still having assistance. But still, how do I not know that they have it bad? To the one jogger moving at their own pace, how do I know that their life is great? I don't. I walk because I thought it would be easy. Easier than taking the bus. It wasn't easy, but I did it. I walked 4.6 miles. I left at 10:06 a.m. and arrived at 12:18 p.m. The original time was supposed to be 12:22. And yes, technically, me stepping foot into my apartment would have been 12:22, but I arrived at 12:18. I arrived at my complex. I made it through the pain and through the hunger and through me having to use the restroom. I didn't give up on myself. I could have called an Uber like I did in the morning, but I didn't. But I didn't want my account to be any more in the negative than it already was. When I stopped at the bus stops, I could have rode the bus. But there was something inside of me telling me that I could do it, that I could finish it. One guy on the way walking said good morning to me, and I said it back. But I noticed that even through the pain, I walked confident, with my head held high. No one questioned that I didn't belong or that I needed help. They just smiled and kept going on their day. I guess that the revelation was, it doesn't matter what stage of part or life that we're in or someone's in, that it could have it easy and you wouldn't know unless you talk to them. That through the pain that there's beauty. Beauty is taking the risk and completing the task. Or good seeing in the end. Some things could have happened to me on the walk, but it didn't. Me taking the risk to even walk. Me asking God, the universe, to watch me. I was safe. All I had to do was keep my eyes on the road, the ground, and the surrounding areas, and have faith with myself. So that's what I wrote. Now, like I said, I don't like talking about my personal business. I don't, unless, it's like something that I can like relate to in a sense, and I don't know. I just felt like I really needed to say this, whether to anyone who's listening or not, I just feel like society has conditioned people so much to the point where like everyone thinks that you need to have a car to get from point A to point B.
Everyone thinks that if you don't have a car, well, then you have to have a bike to get to point A to point B, you know? Society has conditioned people that you need them more than you need yourself, you know? And that is not true whatsoever. And clearly, I proved it to myself that, yes, in the beginning, I did take an Uber to go to a job interview, even though I knew my account was in the negatives, because I told myself I'd rather be there early and not have the funds in my account so that I could make this job interview than take a chance with the bus and be there later. And obviously, first impressions mean a lot to jobs and to even people. But for me, it was more sense that I wanted to prove to myself that I was able to do it, that I didn't need help from anyone. Which, I mean, in the long run, I technically did because, like I said, I caused myself pain, but in the end, it was actually worth it. And I don't know, like, I feel as if me walking was like, you know, taking a leap of faith with God or the universe, whatever you believe in. And honestly, I believe in both because I really feel like they're the same being slash entity. But sorry, y'all, it's a little toasty in this here. But I just feel like lately in my life, I don't have anyone to lean on but myself, which I basically grew up that way all along, even though I did have guardians to take care of me and siblings, but it wasn't the way that I wanted them to take care of me and do the things that I wanted them to do. And, you know, I just learned how to be dependent on myself because in the end, no one could help me. Or if they tried to help me, they put the most littlest effort into helping me. So I just figured out how to do things on my own. And so, sorry, y'all, I had to stop recording for a quick second. But like I was saying though, like, I just grew up in a very conditional love type of household. And I had to do a lot of things myself. And like I said, I just had to be very dependent on myself, like, and get things on myself and do things by myself. And recently I just had posted on my TikTok, you know, asking for help with rent, even though, you know, I know a lot of people don't even have it right now. But it's, you know, I hate asking for money from people. Because, like, honestly, I never do. I always figure it out. And I just never really ask for help for people anymore because I feel like everything is just so conditional with people. Like, if you aren't gonna give something to them, then they don't want to help you. And it's just like, what's happened to humanity? What's happened to humans? Like, what's going on? And I don't know, it just kind of irks my nerves that we've come to society where the rich have it all and the poor and the middle class are just getting poorer and middle class. And the services that are meant to, like, help you aren't actually helping you. And it's just, nobody wants to take their time to, like, do their job and be nice to people anymore. And I know you're like, well, no one has to. Like, no one has to be nice. Like, being nice is a privilege. And I feel like society has conditioned people to think that, like, and being nice sometimes, yeah, it does get you taken advantage of. But in the long run, if your heart is pure of gold, then you have nothing to worry about. And that's the reason why I just decided that I'm not gonna let the situation with my rent get to me. Like, I'm not, because at the end of the day, if God, the universe, wanted me to be homeless, I would be homeless already. But it is a constant fear that I have, because me being a black woman, African American, black, in this society, we go through so much. We go through so much. We get abducted, we get mistreated, we get assaulted. We just get taken advantage of so much. And I don't want to be put in that situation. And on top of that, I know you're like, you shouldn't care what people think, but I do, in a sense, because of where I've come from, Like, I don't care, like, to the point where it's gonna, like, oh my God, like, I need to depend on someone for them to care and make my moving decisions. But because, of how I was raised and me being in the military, I would prefer people not see me like this, not see me struggle, not see me not eating in 3 days and just eating peanut butter to survive and drinking water. Me basically just being on social media and scrolling aimlessly because I don't have the money to go outside and do the activities and stuff, Like, society has made even hobbies something that you have to pay for. And I just recently saw, like, a post on, TikTok saying, like, oh, you need to get a hobby, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I just really want people to realize, like, the society we live in, everything costs money. Like, to think about it, if you literally think about it, it even costs money to breathe, because if you're not doing something with your life and producing money to fuel this economy, then what are you good for? Like, let's be honest with people these days. Like, I really don't think people realize, like, it costs so much to live on a planet that's providing everything for us. And the stuff that it doesn't provide, obviously we make it. But now, since that we're making it, they're making it cost so much. Like, why do I have to pay rent to live in an apartment for shelter, to survive from the weather, the sun, the rain, the sleet, the hail? And, the world has consumed itself with greed. And eventually, with greed, it will perish, it will fall. But in the long run, like I said, us regular folks have to suffer. And so, and I'm not saying like we have to, like I want to, it's like we have to because of our government. And a lot of people are going to be mad that I say this, but these celebrities that we have, they're no different than these big corporations and the government that we have. Because I know people are going to say, well, it's their money, they could do what they want with it. And that is true, but there's no way that you make millions and billions of dollars and the planet is the way that it still is. There's no way that these corporations want us to keep buying their entertainment, their products, but you won't pay your workers actual livable wages. And the statistics prove itself, so there's no reason for someone to sit here and say, well, that's not true. You just have to work harder. And don't get me wrong, life is not meant to be easy. Believe me that. Like, nothing in this life is supposed to be easy, but it's supposed to be able to teach you and guide you. Like, even Mother Nature is not easy. There are days where it rains constantly, of flooding, and then there's days where it's literally hot and scorching. But that doesn't mean that Mother Nature isn't going to make nice, calm, beautiful skies, that we're not going to have a rainbow in the sky, that we're not going to have a sunny, beautiful day, that we're not going to have a cool breeze in the sky. It's just going to take some time. But because of human manipulation to our ozone layer, she's fighting back. And she has every right to do so. But because of corporational greed and these celebrities' greeds, I'm sorry, y'all aren't gonna hate me for it, but because of their greed, the rest of the population is suffering. And if you're not suffering, you know, good on you. Yeah, good on you, but the rest of us are suffering. And, you know, like I said, I was never the type of person to ask for help, and this is the first time that I've ever asked for help with money, to be honest. And, you know, people seen the TikToks, you know, I had maybe 8 or 10 views on it, no reposts or nothing. But, you know, that just makes me realize and proves to myself that there are some people in this world that would rather see you suffer. That they would. They would rather see you suffer because they're not doing any better or any good. And then there's some people who don't want to see you suffer, but they don't have the means themselves, and that they will try to go out their way to help. And for me, in my instance, like I said, I know that I can't help a lot of people because I don't have the funds, especially when people are asking, you know, to help with pay their rent. Like, I didn't have it myself either, but you know what I did? I liked and I reposted and liked comments so that other people could see their post and help them out, you know, because no one should be asking people to help them pay for rent, to help them buy groceries, help them buy stuff to survive that the government was supposed to be providing for us, the jobs that they said that would help us be able to live, you know? But in the end, you know, the government has an ulterior motive, and that is to keep fueling their pockets. And like I said, I don't want anyone to see this and, you know, think that I'm trying to like get you to rebel against the government. You know, that's your own decision. But like I said, my revelation was at any point in time in life, when you're walking, riding your bike, driving your car, jogging, taking a stroll, you never know who next to you is going through something. You never know until they speak about it. And like I said, for me, I, you know, spoke about it. I didn't want to, and I did because I knew, you know, someone will see it. And of course, they're probably going to tell their friends, they're going to tell their family, and even, hey, some people from the military, because I know they're stalking my pages. But yeah, I'm in this situation, I'm in this predicament, but I know, like I said, that God is going to make sure that I'm okay, that I'm all right, because I never want to see someone be in a situation, you know. I just don't think, you know, people should have to go through this, but, you know, people do. And like I said, growing up, I always pretended like I was just some hard gangster, that, you know, everything was fine, everything was okay, like nothing ever bothered me. But I went through a lot. Like I said in my last video, like I went through a lot. Like I could go a lot more in detail, but I'm not going to. But I went through a lot, and I just wanted people to see me for me. So I ended up being something that I wasn't, for people to see me. And obviously that's wrong, you know, but I was just a kid just trying to fit in, you know. But now that, you know, I guess you could say that I'm an adult, because honestly, I still feel like a kid, y'all. I still feel like a kid. I'm sorry to tell y'all, I still do. And the thing is, because, you know, I was robbed of my childhood in my teenage years. So I don't know, maybe that's why I feel like a kid. But as now that I a grown adult, you know, I do, you know, see what my guardians struggle through and other people struggle through, but obviously now that I've made the mistakes that I've made, I would have done things obviously quite differently, but I can't go back in time and change it. So all I can do is fix now. And to anyone, like I said, who's watching, listening, like, there's probably a lot of things that y'all wish y'all could change, you know, and wish could have been better, but they got you to a place that you are now. So now, only thing that you can do in your situation is go up from there, you know? Don't let what society tells you, what people tell you, and I hate to say it, but sometimes, like, the internet is a blessing and it is a curse, okay? It is a blessing and it is a curse because you can learn so much information and then at the same time, you can be persuaded. And for me, I've never been, I mean, yes, there are times that I have been persuaded to do things that I probably shouldn't have, you know, but in the end, you have the ultimate decision how you want to live your life, how you want your life to be, who's going to be in your life, who's not. And I decided that I didn't want anyone in my life that was from my past. And I know you're like, well, there's probably people who care about you, but no, I was holding on to them because I thought, you know, maybe one day we will be seeing eye to eye, you know, about the same views and thoughts in life, and we're friends and they would never do this or they would never say this. But one thing about me, like if you're a spiritual person or you believe in God, you're gonna get those dreams where you just, they may not make sense at the time, but the more that you go on about your day or you see things, like they are signs. And I was avoiding the signs because I didn't want it to be true, but they were. And sometimes you just gotta admit defeat and guilt and let them go. Not everybody can be on your path. Not everybody can be on your journey, and that is okay. Don't let them make you think that you have to stick around for them, that you have to be for them in any of that, y'all. Don't let it happen. Like, I feel as if like this is your life, you know, and you do what you want to do with your life and how you do it. But keep in mind, like, the things that you do and don't do are going to affect you in the long run, you know? So you might as well just, not saying like do what's right the first time, but do what makes you happy, whether that makes someone else mad or makes them feel insecure or guilty or whatever, so be it. It's not your job to make other people happy, you know? It's your job to feel safe and secure with yourself, you know? It's not your job to make other people feel happy. And honestly, I wish that I learned that sooner. I really do, because I feel like I wouldn't have gone through the things that I have went through. But in the end, you know, I can't change what happened because it already happened. So all I can do is, you know, go forth and learn from my mistakes. And you can do the same thing also as well, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. This sun is Metro Boomin and I'm sweating. But that was my revelation, y'all. Like, no matter where you are, part of your life, you know, whether you're up or you're down, at any moment it can be taken away from you. At any moment, no one's knowing how you feel. So unless you express it and you tell it, don't assume that because this person has a BMW or has a Honda or has Chanel or all this stuff that they don't actually have it, you know? And when I was younger, I used to judge people a lot because, you know, I was like, how come they have it and we don't, you know? But now that I got older, obviously, it's like I'm so much more thankful for the things that I have than the things that I don't, because in the end, I could have nothing at all, literally. And I feel like a lot of, like I said, just social media and society has conditioned people that if you don't have all of this, then you're nobody. And that's not true. Whatever you have is whatever you have. Enjoy it, because either it could be taken away, or you're gonna wish that I wish I had the simpler things in life. And for me, I don't know, I never was really a materialistic type of person. I just, I wanted it because someone else had it, not because I actually wanted it, And I'm actually really thankful that I'm not materialistic. And this is not trying to brag or be a pick me, because a lot of y'all be saying that. Like, I'm actually happy that I'm not a materialistic person, because materials don't mean nothing. It's the person who's wearing it, holding it, purchasing it, doing whatever they want with it. It's the person who's holding the item is what makes it, wow, like I want that. And that's the reason why I say influencing is a very scary business. And at the same time, it's like, what are y'all really influencing? Are you influencing a positive lifestyle, or are you just influencing people to be how they want to be? And for me, if I ever become famous or an influencer or whatever, or wealthy, I want people to be able to look at me and say, like, wow, she lived the life that she wanted, even though it wasn't the best life, like, and that they can look up to me. Like, that's what I want if I ever become famous, like, it's not something that because like I want to get famous because everybody's doing it. Like, my heart and my intention is that I just want to help other people, because no one should be living on the street. No one should be starving. No one should be hungry. None of that whatsoever. But unfortunately, it happens because of our government or society. And sometimes even the person themselves. But like I said, that was revelation, y'all. And, I hope y'all like the video. I hope y'all share it. I hope y'all understand it. And like I said, it's not the best quality, okay, y'all? I'm recording off of my iPhone XR, and it is what it is. Like, I don't have a camera and set up like that, and I feel like you don't need it. Like, you always got to start somewhere. You got to start at the bottom before you can ever get to the top. Like, you can't go to the top and then work your way down. I mean, you could, but like, you have to start somewhere. If you don't start, then nothing ever happens. And, I wrote a list of things down that I wanted to do and things that I want. And I said that I wanted to start a YouTube channel. And I did. I have one video up, and this is going to be my second video. And, like I said, y'all, you got to start somewhere. And it doesn't matter what people think of you, literally. Like, I want people to really, honestly, and truly listen to me. It does not matter what people think of you, because they're going to think of you good or bad regardless, because their thinking of you is their own perception of themselves. So do whatever you want. Obviously, be responsible and respectful, but do whatever you want. Like, live life the way that you want. Like, don't let people hold you back. If it's something that you truly want and you know that it has good intentions, the universe and God is going to grant it to you and bless you with it. So just do it. And I'm going to take my own advice, y'all. So don't try to come for me. But I'm going to take my own advice, because, like I said, there's no need for me to live in a bubble. We already live in a bubble. So we might as well just break out of the bubble, break out of this shell, and live life how we want. So, like I said, this is my YouTube channel, The Adventures of Nolly, and thank you for watching.